Hello, I'm Sasha, and I'm a licensed therapist. I serve the communities of Alabama and Georgia. I have been working in this field about 7 years, and I truly want to break the stigma around mental health in all of our communities. This is going to be an amazing platform. I come with experience with a master's degree in mental health counseling. And I just wanted to allow a platform where guests could come on, people from all communities, to talk about their stories and their challenges that they have faced with mental illnesses in their communities, their lives, and their homes. We have to break stigma around mental health, and I look forward to sharing my amazing guests with you in the world. Hello, everybody. You are back with Sasha, the Raw Therapist, and we're on episode 2. We have this amazing guest here, Mr. Remarcus. We call him Vigilante. He's amazing. I'm going to let him go ahead and give you guys his accolades. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? Marcus, vigilante in the industry, born in Michigan, been in Atlanta since 2010, actor, artist, mogul, philanthropist.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Um, as you know, on this show, we like to talk to people about some of the challenges and things that they face in life. And I just know it. First of all, I just got to stop and pause. You looking fly today.
Oh, thank you.
Let me say that with these blue shoes in the hole, you looking fly. Try to come and step over me a little bit. I see you, but okay, I had to just stop for a second to say that. But I wanted to talk to you about, of course, we all know we have challenges with things as far as mental health, mental illnesses, maybe, or even just life challenges, period. And being a black man, being in the industry and entertainment, what would you say are some of the challenges or one of the challenges that you've had that you would like to share with the world?
To be honest, within the industry, I don't really gauge my experience on being a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't carry myself in such a way to where I feel like that there's an agenda that's being pushed against me or an agenda that I'm trying to push on anybody else. So I just carry myself as another working person that's in the industry.
Okay.
So even if I was like facing adversity, I probably still wouldn't see it the same way that somebody on the outside would.
So you basically saying you kind of ignore it, you don't let it affect you?
I wouldn't even say ignore. It probably wouldn't even make it to my desk. And by the time that it did, it wouldn't even be important to even talk about it anymore.
I got you.
If that makes sense.
I got you. But before you got to this state of mind where you were strong enough to say, no, this can't come to my desk, this can't touch me. Um, when maybe you were younger and maybe things came about or something, have you had times where you may not have been, and I know you probably always, you look like you got this swag, like you always been kind of tough, but have you had moments where you felt a little weak?
Yeah, I think that the moments where I feel the weakest and the strongest at the same time is when I give like my views and my standpoint on certain things, and I know that I'm right, or I know that it's in the direction of more factual statements, but due to the climate that we're in, or due to the sensitivity level of people, or whatever intelligence level that they choose that they want to reach that day, it's kind of boxed in and limited.
Mm-hmm.
So it frustrates you as an intellectual when you're limited to your performance and also to the reach that you have based off of other people.
Do you feel like you've been put into a box at times? I heard that statement, being boxed in.
I feel like that I've been slowed down, or having to pace and give my thoughts and my ideas one by one.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a time an example? Because I heard you say as well that you try to share ideas or your way of life with other people, and they just basically they're closed minded. They're not open to it. Can you give us an example of a time where that happened?
In every business venture that I've ever had in the past 10 years, I've went to every company and I've explained to them exactly what would help them progress as a company. No company thus far has implemented those things myself as a brand, I feel like I'm the biggest example of what I'm talking about. I've surpassed a lot of the people who have either been doing this before me or the people who've had a machine the whole time. I created a machine. So I feel like that is credible what I'm talking about. But I don't know if it's fear of the actual company themselves not wanting to implement what somebody on the outside is saying for them, or if they just don't see themselves becoming bigger as a whole.
I'm sitting here, I'm listening, I'm trying to think from the perspective of the companies. You said no of it, none of the companies have taken your opinion and tried to, utilize it or implement it. But how I'm sitting here wondering, do you think that they think that you're trying to insert yourself or tell them what to do or control the scenario? Do you think that they feel uh, almost disrespected when you're going to them because they already have a platform, and here you, this guy from the outside, coming in, telling them what they can do better?
It's kind of a catch-22 because they usually approach me for that reason. I try to be as fair as possible. I feel like I'm a pretty fair person. So I look at what you've done first and congratulate you on the success that you've had thus far, and then let you know everything that, because what I'm saying may not work for you, I'm just letting you know what worked for me. So it's all subjective, so to speak, and I don't know if they feel like I'm trying to take over because I don't want to. So if I can clearly say it to you, then I probably can clearly say it to them too. So I would hope that they wouldn't feel that way. As long as we both have a business obligation to fulfill, then we might as well just do that. But it's not going to go anywhere if one side's not listening to the other and vice versa.
So another thing that stood up about what you said, and I don't mean no disrespect when I say this, but if you're saying, let's say 10 companies you sat down with, and you talked to them about what you think they should do to improve their business, and no one has accepted what you're saying, do you think it's you that's the issue?
Nah, because I got too much proof that it worked with myself.
I got you.
With me being born in Flint and raised in Ben Harbor and being only in Atlanta for 10 years, there's no way that I should have already been working with Tyler Perry and had lead roles in this movies and been in habits. We signed to 10 talent agencies and have a song with Dondre and about to have another one with Bow Wow, and it's impossible. Most people wouldn't even have one of those accolades for a lifetime. I'm just getting started. I'm only 26.
Yeah.
So everything that I've done, I have the data that of how I did it and et cetera, et cetera. But I think that is my sheer motivation to myself. Like it's almost like a passion project, a lifetime passion project. So I guess that's what's driven me to go the extra hours that it wouldn't drive them to, because they wouldn't have the same passion to move in the same direction.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kudos to you for all those amazing things that you have done. But you also have to understand everybody is not open to the feedback that you want to give.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that whenever they don't listen to you? And it's got to be like a sucker punch when you've been taking the time to review whatever they're bringing to you. They're coming to you for advice, but not taking any of the advice that you're giving. How does it? Does it feel like a sucker punch?
It's a huge catch-22. I'm thrown off by it. I'm happy, but I'm sad at the same time. I'm happy because that means that there's a lot more people that I'm going to surpass because of that. But I'm sad because it's a lot of companies that have such dope ideas that I don't want to steal from them. I just want to see them reach the plateau that they should reach. But because I know that they're limited in what they'll do, they'll never reach that plateau. So it sucks.
I think because you're confident, people get that mixed up, and whether it's a business or somebody you're dealing with, you may be wanting to help people by what you're telling them, but you may come off to them as arrogant. Have you ever had somebody tell you you're arrogant?
Yeah, it's a very thin line. Because what people do is that they want you to realize how much power you have, but they don't. But they want you to utilize it in the way that they want you to. Everything is tamed. Like I just seen the last Kong and Godzilla movie. They just put Kong in an enclosure. So they want everybody to know that he's alive, but they want them to know that they have control over him. Essentially the same thing. Same thing with
they don't stay caged forever. Kong gets out. So I watched it. Nobody. So you don't stay caged forever. He gets out, and that's the most important part. You can try to cage me and put me behind bars, but I'm gonna get out. You know, especially if you keep pushing and don't give up. Now, aside from that, I do know some things from reading your background and stuff. I know you have an amazing song out right now.
Thank
I want to know also, what was the motivation behind the words that you put in that song? It's called "Fly Away,"
you.
and to me, it's almost like you saying I'm breaking loose, and there's nothing stopping me.
Yeah, that was my transcend from the underground to the mainstream.
Hmm.
I never wanted to be an underground artist when I first got into music. I joined music at a very interesting time when it went from CDs to scans, from views to streams, from sales to numbers. When I started doing music, it was Facebook, then Twitter, then Snapchat, then Instagram. Now Instagram has reigned for the past I don't know how many years.
Hmm.
So the shift and how to I guess break through as an artist, I wanted to in this song right here go and grab a mainstream artist so that nobody could ever tell me that I wasn't a mainstream artist from that point.
Hmm.
We neck and neck.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's crazy because I know that you invest in yourself. That's something that a lot of people don't realize is that you take the time and invest, whether it's time or money. You putting all that energy in it.
Thank
Now, aside from that, I'm just curious, how do you balance being in entertainment, helping businesses, as far as consulting, and then having to have your home house balanced with your lifestyle? And just tell us a little bit about how you balance all that out.
I said it's a lot easier than it probably seems. It's 24 hours in a day. So if I'm doing three things for that day, I might just need 3 hours to do it.
Hmm.
I might be able to help a business while I'm at home with my two women and
Hold on, you said what? Now, how many women? Two.
mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to talk a little bit more. Go ahead and explain
Okay.
it. Wait.
Um, it I don't know. It's more than just like a job. This is like my everyday life. So it's a cycle. It's easy to me. It's simple.
So let's go back. You said it's simple,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I already heard something that I know can't be simple. Is that
Mm-hmm.
you got two women,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Tell us a little bit more about how that came about.
Well, how come that can't be simple?
I don't think dealing with two women or two individuals period is simple, but it sounds like you balanced it out and it's working for you.
Yeah.
So how is it that you have two women,
Mm-hmm.
you have this whole business that you're running,
Mm-hmm.
and you're saying that this is simple. This is simple with a lot of confidence in that. How are you doing it?
It's simple.
It's simple.
Yeah, it's simple.
It,
The me and my two women, we all think a lot alike. So, yeah, we three different personalities, but we all have three of the common goals.
mhm.
Um, I like the fact that both my women are submissive to my ideas. They're very strong, independent women. Um, one of them is about to open a yoga studio, metaphysical. She makes crystals, and then the other one, she's a registered nurse. She's about to have her own practice. So we're all there mentally as far as what we want to do in the next level
Mhm.
with each other. So it's simple in that way. I don't have to push none of them to want to be something that they not, or to try to clone myself. I don't want another version of myself. I want the best versions of them, and they want the best version of me.
Okay. Okay. So balancing out dealing with the women and then your entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You saying that they have all these amazing things going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
What about you do you feel like keeps them sacred and stuck with you, or not necessarily stuck, but rocking with you? What about you keeps them, comfortable and at peace, at bay, I guess you would say?
I don't know. I don't even really know like a non-arrogant way to answer that. To be
Mm,
honest,
no, it's okay. You've been arrogant the whole time, but go ahead. It's okay. It's all
yeah,
right.
I don't know. I can't say that. That's probably
You
inappropriate, but
what?
well, I can't say that.
Can't say what.
That.
What is that? Something sexual?
Well, yeah, that and just I don't know. I don't think that either one of those women have either one of my women have met somebody like me before they met me. So I don't know. I think it was just a new experience for the both of them, and that they finally. I don't feel like it's one person out there for everybody. I feel like there's multiple people out there for people. Not to say that you have to be with those multiple people, but that you run into multiple people that you vibe with. So the average person only knows a select few people. When you die, you probably only met probably like 20,000, 30,000 people. There's trillions of people in the world. So how can you say that out of those other trillions of people that you wasn't gonna vibe with 8 or 9 other ones? So statistically, that just makes sense. And we just so happen to all find each other and have that vibe with each other. So.
I can understand that statistically it makes sense, but mentally I don't see that it makes sense.
I
For
mean,
the woman.
they both kind of the same.
They're kind of the same.
Yeah, because if statistically it makes sense, then mentally it kind of would too, because they would all be similar people.
I disagree.
You don't have to be with all of them, but I'm saying that you could have a vibe with them.
So how do you mentally stay stable dealing with two women? They have, they're different personalities, despite they have some similarities that I'm hearing. How do you mentally stay sane dealing with two different women? And then you're saying that now you also just made the statement that you may go out and run into another chick that you might vibe with. You might add her too. How are you gonna balance that?
Yeah, that's a possibility as well. What I'm trying to say to you is that the balance of it is a lot easier than what you think, because this third person is going to be similar to the two that I already have because of the vibe that we've created. So it's going to make it easier. She's going to want to be a part of the situation, and they're going to want to have her in there. There's no difficulty in that. The only difficulty that can be created is within it. And that means that the only way that it can be fixed is within it. So as long as there's no outside interference, it's good. So
are you promoting polygamy?
Not really.
To people?
Yeah, no, not really. I don't. The stuff that I do in my lifestyle, I don't really promote a lot of people to follow in my footsteps, so to speak. I want everybody to do what makes them happy. If you want to be single for the rest of your life, trust me, I understand. If you want to get married, I understand. If you want whatever you want to do what makes you happy. That's what I'm promoting. Doing what makes you happy.
Now, when it comes to just mentally, do you feel like being with more women versus trying to be with one helps you mentally? Or do you feel like it's been a little bit more when it comes to your mental stability? Which one is easiest for you? Being with one person or being with more than one person as a man? With all these options, because you got that swag and all.
You're making it so hard for me to not.
To not do what? Be you. You fine.
When I had less options, when I was living in Michigan, it made it a lot easier for me to just be with one woman. I was single mom raised until I was 12, and that's when my stepdad came into the picture. And then I had 5 sisters, so I was the only boy. So I learned a lot about women from women directly. So it made it a lot easier for me to talk to them, and it made it a lot easier for me to understand what it was that they were looking for as far as the opposite sex. So
you use them so you can get more women. That's what you're saying.
You used to my sisters?
Yeah, you used your sisters and your mama.
No, I just gained knowledge.
Oh, okay.
They were around. It was like having books.
Okay. So you could go out and create this life where you can have all these women.
No, it wasn't for that reason. It just was simultaneous.
Okay.
Yeah. They was gonna be there regardless of how I turned out. So it helped, because it's some men now that 30, 40, 50 still don't know how to have a regular conversation with a woman. They're walking down the street, see a woman they want to talk to, they don't even know how to go up and introduce themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
They socially awkward, most of them. So it helped me to get over that hump faster, to not be socially awkward. So I think that more women cling to me because of that reason. I can and have a regular conversation with a woman that's not even sexual, any motive, anything. Just talking. We're just having a regular conversation for 3 hours, 4 hours. We get up. I don't even have to get your number. You ain't got to get mine. Thank you for the conversation. We gone. That's it.
So basically, back to the question. You said basically it depends on the environment you were in. So when you were in Michigan, it was easier to have one woman.
Yeah.
But being here in Atlanta, it's a little bit more challenging because you got so many options. Got to think about that.
Yeah, it's a mixture between that, and it's also a mixture between. The older I got, is the more as I realized that I had a lot more love to spread out,
Hmm.
and then I realized that I'm a really good person. So it's like when I meet somebody, if I met somebody on Monday and then I met somebody on Friday, I'm not playing the I saw you first game. So the person on Monday has nothing to do with the vibe that I caught on Friday. So if this person can bring just as much good into my life as this person can bring, I don't see what the harm is. And especially when everything can be financially compensated for and nobody is lacking in any areas, everything is working simultaneously.
Hmm.
Um, it's a lot of I don't see many companies that only have one employee, or just because you like Chick-fil-A
So
doesn't.
you compare relationships to companies?
Everything in life is a business. I'm not
So
saying that
relationships or business?
I didn't, not strictly, but there are elements in a relationship that are business.
Mm. Okay, so your relationship, does it run like a business?
Everything in life runs like a business, but that in itself is the foundation of it is the fact that we all love each other, but the inner workings of it does have business aspects to it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking back because, of course, I look at everything before you guys come, and I was looking at an interview that you did
Mm-hmm.
as well, and I was just curious as well because I'm thinking about the not just the mental of you, the mental of your ladies, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I didn't agree when you said that the ladies couldn't go out and let's say get a guy
Mm-hmm.
and include him in a relationship. It's only okay to bring other girls into the relationships, and even if they was to step out and not do it in front of you, just do it at the other guy's house or something, you'd be like, no, you got to get out because this, you didn't dealt with another guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally just didn't agree with that because what about if they love you and they vibe with somebody? You was they vibe Monday and the dude was they vibe on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in your household? You just gonna be like, no, I'm done.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between me telling that girl that she can't do that and me letting her know what the reaction would be if she did do that. That's two different things. So you allowed to do whatever you want to do. I have no control over another human being. But the reaction to that, this is my foundation. Everything that's around me is an addition to what I'm here, and then everything else falls underneath that. If you want your own soul thing, or you want to be a part of somebody else's, then you have the ability to go do that.
I just think that's kind of bull because the thing is, what you're saying essentially is this whole scenario benefits you because you're saying that okay, I'm giving you this option,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but you're already telling them it's not okay. It's not okay because what, like I said, they love you, they want you
Mm-hmm.
because you they Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but they just wanted to jump off because he was Friday. They just want a little piece of him, but they want you for real. But you can go out and you can do this. You can get a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't do that. They just can only be okay with the female version of an interest into
Okay.
the relationship.
So let me touch on something that you said as far as it only benefits me. I don't really know too many women in my 26 years of life that's going to be around in a situation that has no benefits to them at all.
Mm.
So that right there would prove to not be true at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, uh, I don't think that either girl looks at me like they're Monday. I think that it's more of a 7 day a week thing when it comes to me.
Mm.
So if and then we all know that a woman committing that action versus a man committing that action is one is emotional and the other is I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know what that is. and then it's different when it's not an understanding and when it
Hold
is
on, I want to make
understanding.
sure I understood what you just said. You
Well, go
said
ahead.
when a woman is committing that action
Mm-hmm.
versus go back. What did you mean by that?
Meaning that there's a lot more thought process and trial and error and emotional tie that goes into her stepping out with another guy and deciding that I want to have two people um, commit this act simultaneously with me.
Well, what's the difference in that and you going and stepping out with a woman and you're gonna have some you don't sound like the type of guy that's gonna be just jumping off with any type of woman. So you're gonna have some mental because you vibe with them, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some mental connections and things too. So it's the same scenario. What is truly the difference?
In a sense, I mean, it's a lot of differences. Um, but I see what you're saying from the other perspective as well. But the main difference that I'm saying is that as the head of that foundation, that's just one of the agreements that we have come to simultaneously. So it's going to be one of those. Some people agree with it, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just as far as it can go.
So just curious, when you met both of the ladies that you're dealing with, were they bisexual or was this their first time with another woman or what is it?
Um, well, I've been with one for 4 years and I've been with one for 4 months. So the one that I've been with for 4 years, she was bisexual silently, and I actually silently, and I encouraged her to explore that side.
I'm sure you did encourage her.
I mean, it wasn't not in the way people probably think. It was just like
I'm sure.
she was getting to a point where she was going to explore that anyway.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be in that part of the timeline. So I don't want to take the credit for that. That's what she was going to do anyway. So I I was just there to support her. So she became more openly bisexual as the years went by. Wow. More comfortable with like admitting it and embracing it and stuff like that. When the second girl came around, she was already full bisexual, and her interest was first in my lady, and then when we all got together, then that became that. I
have one last question on this part because I'm just sitting here because this is very interesting. I think that people definitely need to know that when it comes to your mental, you got to do whatever it is that pleases you in your life, but it got to make sense to you. But I am really truly curious. Has it ever been a time when they was like, "Nah, we don't want you in here in the bedroom with us. It's just gonna be us. So you can't come in. They lock you out and do the thing by themselves."
Like, has that happened?
Yeah.
No, but I would love for that to happen. That means I get a night off.
Oh, okay. So you get tired.
No, I don't get tired, but I appreciate the little bit of strength that I got left.
Okay. All right. So I think that's truly just, I think it's an amazing dynamic. It's not for me, it's not for everybody. But I do think that, I am curious to see a year from now if both girls will be completely solely focused on just you, or 10 years from now. Because, something could come up where you may not necessarily, they may not be just attracted to you anymore. They may want somebody else. So I am curious to follow up years from now to see how this is going. I do know that things are getting a little bit more different and people are having to be a little bit more open to other things. So I know people need to follow you to know more about just your whole platform and the amazing things you're speaking and everything. So I want you to tell people where they can find you
at Vigilante LOM on all platforms. Flyaway featuring Dondre is also on all platforms.
Awesome. And if you could give one takeaway before we get out of here today.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Awesome. All right, guys, we've had Vigilante. He's awesome. He's got a lot of edge going on with him, but we definitely have to go check him out later. Thank you for tuning in, guys. See you soon.